everyone, and thank you for joining me. Today, we're going to explore the importance of understanding typical and atypical child development. Typical development refers to the predictable path children follow as they grow, physically, emotionally, cognitively, and in their language skills. Atypical development, on the other hand, includes delays or deviations from expected milestones, which may indicate developmental challenges. Why is this important? Because when educators, parents, and caregivers recognize early signs, they can implement timely interventions, provide targeted support, and foster environments that meet every child's unique needs.
So let's look at how development progresses across four stages. So infancy, early childhood, middle childhood, and adolescence through four domains. So physical, social, emotional, language, and cognitive. First, infancy, 0 to 2 years old. So the typical for infancy, rolling over by 6 months, walking by 18 months, bubbling by 6 months, and playing peekaboo. The atypical for infancy, not sitting without support by 12 months, no words by 18 months, or no interest in social games. In early childhood, 2 to 6 years old, so the typical for early childhood, climbing stairs, playing with peers, telling simple stories, and understanding basic concepts like same and different. The typical for early childhood, struggling with running or climbing, preparing to play alone past age of 4, or having unclear speech by age of 4. So the middle childhood, 6 to 12 years old, so the typical for middle childhood, improve coordination, making friendships, understanding humor, and solving problem logically. The typical for middle childhood, poor motor skills, difficulty making friends, or struggling with reading and comprehension. And for the last one, the adolescents, 12 to 18 years old, so the typical for adolescents, so growth spurts, deeper peer relationships, using advanced vocabulary and abstract thinking. So that's typical for adolescents, so withdrawing from peers, delayed puberty, or trouble with planning and hypothetical thinking. So tracking these milestones help us detect red flags and act when something seems off.
Theories of child development. Theories of child development. To better understand child development, we turn to four major theories. First is Erik Erikson, focused on psychosocial development. He describes stages like autonomy versus shame and doubt, where toddlers develop independence. Second is John Piaget emphasized stages of cognitive development. For instance, in early childhood, kids are in the pre-operational stage using symbols but still learning logic. And third is Lev Vygotsky, introduced the zone of proximal development, which shows that children learn best with guidance, what we call scaffolding. Fourth is Albert Bandura, highlighted observational learning. Children mimic behavior they see from adults or peers. Let's apply these theories with two quick examples. Our case study number one, which is the typical development. Maya, age 2, enjoys picking out clothes and playing with toys. Her mom encourages her choices.
Case Study 2. Atypical development. Tom, age 3, is often scolded when trying to do tasks on his own. He becomes hesitant and withdrawn. In Erickson's stage of development, he's developing shame and doubt. In Vygotski's stage development, no scaffolding is given. In Piaget's stage of development, lack of active engagement may limit his learning. Lastly, in Bandura's stage development, he's modeling avoidance, reflecting his parents' negative feedback. These cases shows how theory explains real behaviors and how early shape development. Case Study 2. Atypical development. Tom, age 3, is often scolded when trying to do tasks on his own. He becomes hesitant and withdrawn. In Erickson's stage of development, he's developing shame and doubt. In Vygotski's stage development, no scaffolding is given. In Piaget's stage of development, lack of active engagement may limit his learning. Lastly, in Bandura's stage development, he's modeling avoidance, reflecting his parents' negative feedback. These cases shows how theory explains real behaviors and how early shape development. Development is essential. By learning the milestones and recognizing early signs of delays and applying developmental theories, we can ensure that every child gets the support they need to thrive. Educators, parents, and caregivers all play a crucial role by creating supportive, nurturing spaces where every child has a chance to reach their full potential. And that would be all. Thank you.